Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Common Sense Crypto channel. As with you always, this is Rich doing another video today. But before I get started, please click the like and subscribe button as it helps this channel grow very quickly. So we're going to take another look at IBM. There's probably a couple things I missed in the last video. So we see this. Cleveland Clinic and IBM partnered to bring quantum computing into healthcare for the first time. The goal is to accelerate the pace of medical discoveries using high-performance computing and artificial intelligence. You see how IBM is even tied to this, to the healthcare system? It's tied to AI, and it's also tied to a lot of cryptocurrencies that we hold. So whenever you buy a cryptocurrency or you want to invest in one, check and see if it's tied to IBM, because if it is, it's going to be huge. Now, I did mention before in another video I did on IBM that the only time I knew IBM was, and I had to go and look back, it was a 486 IBM I owned at one point in time. I used it for gaming back then, I believe. But anyway, so you all upgraded since, right? This is IBM in 1956. And do you see that big square box? That's a 5 megabyte hard drive. Just think of that. Think of how far technology has came. And IBM has been around for 60 years. So think about all the innovation that they were involved in over all of those years. Now there's some dark ties to IBM also. We're not going to really talk about that today. But the thing is, think about it like that. That's how far we came over time. And even from the time that I owned a 486 IBM computer. So think about it like that. IBM AI engineering course. And that's the thing. AI is going to be very big. A lot of things are going to have to be automated. Think about an entire financial system, okay? They're going to build a whole new financial system. Now, you have to make sure that runs 365 days a year, no matter what, because transactions are going to happen all year round. And you got to make sure it's live 24/7. So, wouldn't it be easier if AI was running that whole system? It would probably make it a lot easier. So, an AI is going to become more and more parts of our daily lives in the future. Then we see this. Read and share the Forrester white paper for insight into why the time for digital transformation is now, and how IBM partner American Technology Solutions can help you adapt and thrive. What this is about is they had to deal with COVID, okay? And because of COVID, things are moving faster now as far as digital transformation. And IBM's trying to help all of these companies and all of these banks transform to the new system that is coming. And I mean, cryptocurrency is right there with it. But people still sit back and you'll tell them there's a whole new financial system coming, and they'll say, well, yeah, that's years down the road. But it's really not. Only, like people think years, they think 2030, 2040, 2050. But it's literally this year the transformation begins. And by next year, most cryptocurrencies, in my opinion, are going to be skyrocketing. I'm talking about the utility coins, the ones that we talk a lot about on this channel. They're going to be up in price. They're going to no longer be achievable by the normal investor just coming into crypto. Then we see this. Paying up for talent in tech remains a major factor, even as headlines highlight slowdowns in hiring and layoffs. IBM CEO said that they are paying 9% plus wage inflation to bring in talent in a difficult hiring market. Why do you think they're hiring so much? I could tell you right now why IBM is hiring. They're getting ready for November. They're getting ready for ISO 222, the new financial system. So blockchain IBM is hiring for the following position. And this is only a couple of them: managing consultant, strategy and advisory, financial services. And then they're also hiring for this: blockchain architect, distributed ledger technology, IBM. And you got to keep your eye on that, because they're tying blockchain to the new financial system. And then Intel, Cisco, Hewlett-Packard, Seagate, Qualcomm, and IBM use Python for hardware testing. JP Morgan, Chase, UBS, Getco, and Citadel apply Python to financial market forecasting. NASA, Los Alamos, Fermilab, JPL, and others use Python for scientific programming tasks. So you see how it's tied together? You see how things are going to be pulled together? And I'm telling you, IBM is going to be a part of all of this. They're going to be part of the scientific part, the financial part, and all of the hardware. Plus, they have cloud. I'm telling you, this is going to be much bigger than people think. So don't despair. No matter how long it goes, you still have the same amount of tokens. If you don't sell, you can't lose money. HODL up and HODL the line. Buy the dip, buy utility like XRP, XLM, XDC, XRPL, RippleNet, IBM, because it will come back after they stop manipulating it for legacy financial system. A lot of people feel that way. They feel that the whole crypto market right now is being manipulated because we don't have the new system ready. So they feel like the prices are being held down. And if that's the truth, okay, if that's truly what is happening, that they're just holding it back because of the legacy system, I don't see Bitcoin setting a new all-time high. Why? Because the new financial system will be in place, and then we go on a utility run. And once utility is brought in, that will be the end of Bitcoin. It'll still be around. It'll still have some use case thanks to the Flare network, but it will not be the king of crypto anymore. It'll be phased out. Its technology is old and outdated. It's like us going from, dial-up telephone or dial-up internet to, broadband. That's how you got to look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin is like dial-up, and all of these new cryptocurrencies are like broadband. They're moving things so fast. The technology is so much more advanced, and IBM is at the heart of it all. And then we see this: Europe clearing, central banks, networks, Ripple, Stellar. Now, a lot of people argued that Stellar is not going to have ties to IBM. People, in fact, said sell your XLM due to that reason. But if we look here, okay, we see IBM right here. And then we see Stellar, we see Ripple. And you're going to be able to add a lot of other cryptocurrencies in there also: Casper, HBAR, IOTA, Algorand, QNT, XDC. It's all going to play a part. And what do we see up here? All the payment systems. I mean, you see MasterCard, you see Visa, you see SWIFT, which is pretty much what we're replacing. Because SWIFT is dated. It's the same as Bitcoin. It's outdated. It doesn't work as good anymore. This makes everything fast. Think about going to the store on a Friday, buying stuff, and it coming out of your account on Monday. And that's how it is with most banks right now. With this, the second you slide that card, the money will automatically be taken from your account. It makes things easier. Then we see this: a must read: ISO 222 cryptos, 5 compliant cryptos to keep an eye on in 2022. And we know those cryptocurrencies. And guess what? Anytime you talk about these cryptocurrencies, you always see IBM in there also. And that's what you got to watch for. If a new cryptocurrency comes out tomorrow and it has ties to IBM, I'm buying it. That's how confident I am in IBM at this point. We've heard a lot about ISO 222 standard, and we're aware that Ripple meets the standard. IBM WorldWire Stellar also uses the standard. To the XRP maximalist, I do hodl some XRP. And that's what you got to look at. You got to understand that it's not only XRP. It's all of the ISO tokens. But if you're going to buy crypto, make sure it has to deal with payments, healthcare, it's green, and it has ties to IBM. With that said, I'm going to wrap up today's video. I want to thank you all for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Have a great night.